Listeners of the T.R.O.N Podcast, the Randomness of Nothing. This is your host, Rashad Woods. And today I have a very special guest from our neighbors up north today, Abel Osorio. He's a tech entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, actually, founder of multiple companies, one of which is Execution Lab and Nubble. And you'll get a chance to learn more about those companies as I interview him and pick his brain. And by the way, he loves boxing, which we kicked it off right away. And I'm a huge boxing fan. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to having this conversation.
I appreciate you. You have accomplished a lot, and it obviously took a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and a lot of pitfalls to ultimately reach what you call, and what you're still calling your entrepreneurial career. So can you give us some background about yourself, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career as a software engineer, 9-to-5 jobs, regular stuff. But then I realized that I wanted to build my own career. I wanted to be my own boss and all of that. I was very young, motivated. So basically, I started doing freelance work for companies, mainly in North America. I'm from Argentina, South Argentina. So I decided to start freelancing, and what started like a dream became very rapidly, a reality. Figured that anything that you can plan and execute upon, you can, make it true,
Right.
make it possible. So yeah, basically turned my freelancing business into a bigger company, which by year one were about 30 people. It was
Wow.
like amazing growth.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been kind of, playing around with different ideas and, working with great, talented people and, building businesses ultimately.
Yeah, you have a pretty extensive career of building things. So can you give us some details about what Nubble actually is?
Yeah. So right now I'm working on a few different projects. One of them is Nubble. So basically what I found in my career is that people are not resumes, right? So my first company was very, heavy on hiring people. And, the resume was like nothing. It didn't represent anything about the person. So I got more from a 20-second video from the person than from the resume, right? Yeah. So I was like, I don't care about your resume. Let's just talk a little bit. And you get to know the person. You get to feel if you guys will work well together, stuff like that.
Right.
So with years, we had developed a very unique way to hiring people. We wouldn't ask for a resume. We would just ask for, hey, can you meet, please? Because we want to chat. But some people didn't want to hop on the call like right away. So we would ask instead, hey, can you ask these 3 questions, but with videos? We want to see you. We want to, hear you talk. So that is what Nubble is right now. We developed a platform where it's for small companies right now that want to hire like quickly without all the resume, noise.
Right.
And basically what it is
it'll show preparation on the spot too. It'll really show preparation of the person on the spot too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It shows a lot. Yeah. So you ask a question and you get an answer. You don't get the perfect answer. You don't get, keywords or stuff like that. You just get what the person says right there, right now, right? And that's it. That tells a lot about the person. So that is Nubble. Sorry for the whole story. And then I'm working also on Unit Zero Studio, which is a small product development studio in Vancouver. We work for small startups. And our value proposition is that we create MVPs in 30 days or you don't pay us. Right?
Oh, wow.
That's our whole kind of value proposition.
So for people who aren't listening, that means minimum viable product, right? So that's for people.
Yeah. So basically someone has an idea, they want to build a product, and we say, hey, we can build you that product. Of course, we take everything that doesn't really matter right now, we take
Right.
it out. So we build a product that helps you validate the idea in 30 days. If we don't deliver in 30 days, you don't pay.
That's wonderful.
That's the whole proposition. And then something that I'm doing, which is kind of a passion, and this is something pretty much new, is the Execution Lab, which is basically an academy or sort of an academy where I help people build their businesses. So I coach them, I give them some resources that I found valuable through my career. And also we organize some events to bring other entrepreneurs and business owners to share, tax strategy for solopreneurs, hiring practices, or, how I build this idea from scratch, stuff like that.
And what's interesting is that, I think the beauty about the internet is it's democratized a lot of the processes to get information, to reach out to people. And obviously people just have to have the wherewithal to be able to do it. One of the fascinating things, about when you talk about the minimal viable product, how do people get past the point of this has to be perfect to bring to market? Because I think that, or not deviate into this needs to do all these other things except exactly what it needed to do from the very beginning. Because, when you start getting thoughts spinning in your head, you can lose focus of what you actually wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that is actually the approach that I share in the Execution Lab. I call it income first mentality. So basically, if we build a business, mostly we do it for money. We live in a world where we need money, and we need lots of money. We have to be realistic.
Yes.
So if you build a business, you have to make money. And the way that we make money is by executing transactions with human beings, meaning that you have to get out there and talk to human beings to sell your product.
Correct.
What happens usually with startup products is that they build and they stay a lot on that stage, building stuff.
Right.
And usually, a lot of the advisors that I know, investors that I know, they say, hey, talk to customers. That is your single most important thing to do, talk to customers.
Right.
But they stay there safe in their whiteboards, doing like user research or stuff that. And for them, the moment where they say, oh, I actually have to sell, I actually have to talk to customers, is when they run out of money, unfortunately. Yeah. And by then, you don't have any more resources to play with. You are, you already have a product, so you can actually experiment a lot. You can only experiment with what you have. So it becomes a little bit heavier and more complicated.
And what, also what can happen too is that by not actually speaking with customers or people who are going to utilize your products and services, I always call it the equation of eating your own food, right? Until you've actually gave this, right? So like you may be like, man, I put up a really good dish. I created something really nice to eat, but you didn't know because nobody else, you're the only one eating. Or you start talking engineer language, and I'm not dissing engineers. You're successful, and but the point is that how accessible and easy is this language to understand to the average person who just needs it to function and do the job that you said that it's going to do for you, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All the algorithms and coded language doesn't mean anything to somebody who just wants to press a button
or get something done, right?
Yeah. Right.
I listen to a lot of startup pitches, presentations, and most of them start with, I found this problem, I saw this problem, and I decided to build a product to solve it. And whenever I listen to that, I hear that, it's like, okay, this is going wrong. Because the best way to start a business is I saw a problem, I saw a person facing a problem, and that I helped that person solve the problem.
Yeah.
So in your case, it may just make someone a sandwich, right? So, I didn't hire a chef. I didn't have a fancy kitchen, whatever. I just found a person that was hungry, and I made them a sandwich.
Right.
So I found an opportunity there to, be in that place close to that people selling sandwiches.
Right.
So you start right away with income. We start right away with demand. You don't build anything. Right. So that's kind of the approach that I like.
It's kind of like how Chef Boyardee, his real name was Biordi, right? So he was a chef in like a hotel in New York. And so he basically he was a really high level chef. And I read a story a while ago. And then there were a lot of kids that, were poor in the area in his immigrant neighborhood. And then his mom was like, you have to feed these kids. So then he kept canning easy to make food. And then he was like, well, Biordi isn't really, he doesn't come phonetically really well off the tongue. And he's like, he called it Boyardee. And then next thing you know, he was able to can his food and sell it because it was quickly available, to mass produce it, so to speak, right? So like you said, to your point, when it comes to like the sandwich, that was something that was solved very easily by somebody who had those respectable skills. So as you started building this, are there particular industries that gravitate towards your academy? I mean, you see these AI companies that are coming out all the time, and I'm not saying they're not indistinguishable from one another because they have their own special traits and characteristics. But is there a particular sector of business that you gravitate towards?
I don't target a specific type of industry or anything, but more often, like every day, I get people from design, like web design or UI UX design, software engineers, marketing, social media, stuff like that. And what happens with them is that they used to have a very safe career. So like 10 years ago, you would go to school, graduate from a software engineer, and poof, 200,000 a year.
Without question.
Or more,
Without
right?
question.
But now, they are feeling that the market doesn't really value themselves anymore.
Right.
So you can see a lot of software engineers without a job or underpaid. The same for designers, marketers, people at social media.
Right.
So they are like, hey, I do have the skills. I do know how to solve these kind of problems, but the market doesn't seem to need me, so I want to do it myself.
Correct.
Right? So that's kind of, those are kind of the roles that I'm usually meeting with these days.
That's amazing. And there's some ridiculously talented people out there that have worked at some very high level companies, worked on some very massive projects, and you're like, when you hear about, the skills that they possess, you kind of do a double take when you realize that they're in the position that they are because of the automation and because of, the things that have occurred in the market. So when you're trying to bring a product to market, what are the stages when somebody says they get the MVP and now they're trying to get it tested? Now they're trying to find clients because now clients have very similar products that are at their disposal to be able to utilize. It's almost like cloud. Like you can get Amazon Cloud, you can get Microsoft Cloud, you can get Google Cloud. How do people have a differentiation from very similar services when people are kind of all drawn from the same pool, so to speak?
Yeah. So I think being people is the answer. So what I'm saying is that people, what isn't already solved right now? Like very few things.
Correct.
Right? If you think about it, like most problems are already solved.
Yes.
So what happens is that people right now, they're not looking for a solution for the problem. They're looking for solution and support, like human support.
Right.
They want to feel that there is someone out there with a name, with a face that cares about them.
Right.
So what I found, and with people that are building a business and they say, hey, maybe this other company is doing something similar to my business, or I wouldn't be able to compete with this or that one. I say, hey, you can compete, and you have a strong value proposition because you are a single person. That other company is a company it doesn't feel the same for a person that needs your product or service.
Right.
Right. So in terms of how to differentiate from the big players is that don't be a big player yet. Just start by being yourself. People want to, be heard. People want to be supported. So that is a lot of, those are a lot of things that we solopreneurs can offer.
That's a wonderful analogy.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because, it's almost like going to a restaurant. Like, you can go to a big chain restaurant, or you can go to like your local one where you may know the waitress and waiter knows you. You get more of a customized experience, and you're like, hey man, it's small. I don't have to necessarily fight crowds, or it's not in the downtown district. It's kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but they make really good food.
Yeah. And that is especially true with AI. So you wouldn't go to a restaurant and order like a great food to like an AI. Right. It wouldn't be like I don't know, a great experience, because you know that the AI doesn't have any taste.
Right.
So you would prefer going to a place where you can ask the person, hey, how's the steak here?
Yep.
Right.
Right.
So, and wanted to say in terms of AI, that is what happens. People are afraid of AI. They are afraid that AI will take their jobs. But what I see, and this I think is going to be especially true for the next couple of decades, is that humanity is going to matter more and more and more and more.
Without question.
Every day.
Without question.
Right? Because problems are continue to be solved by technology, and technology is going to continue to improve a lot. Right. So what will truly matter is our humanity. So how can you solve a problem for someone out there that wants special touch, a special human touch, instead of just asking AI or whatever technology to solve it.
Right. And I think that because, I would always, I've talked to multiple small business owners and entrepreneurs, very successful, and they kind of say the same thing that you do. It's their personalized service. And the other thing about it is also respectively kind of know your lane, so to speak, because if you are a software company that's local and you've created something for your client base, you could be down the street or around the corner from them rather than having for them to send an email or get into a queue, so to speak. So if they're IT services company, if you're in Vancouver and you're servicing local Vancouver, based companies, Abel's down the street, which means you can talk to their sales team, talk to their engineering team, talk to their customer service team, and have like, hey, I'm going to walk you through this onboarding process together, and we can sit back and have this personalized relationship, rather than I can possibly get the help that I need, but I'm not a Fortune 500 company, and I need to be able to move nimbly to the person in my contacts to service my business on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah. The other day, I went to with my kid to open a bank account. I needed a bank account for something. So I went to two different banks. I won't name names here, but I went to two different banks. One offered me a really good package, really good perks. It was interesting. So I was like, okay, thank you, but I'm just going to have another option just in case. I went to the other place. I was invited to an office. They asked me if I wanted coffee, and we were having a very nice conversation with the person there. And she first, greeted my son. She had a nice conversation with my son, and then all of a sudden she said, "Oh, do you want a piggy bank? Right? Do you want to become a customer?" He is 5, right? So he won't become a customer. Sure. But she gave him a piggy bank, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm now a customer of a bank." Right? And she was super nice, and she was like, "Hey, you know what? If you have any problem or questions or whatever, this is my phone. I work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but you can call me any day." So it was like, this is the bank.
So you knew right away, and it was that personalized touch and service. And so,
exactly.
And I would say, for the purpose of this show, like I'm one of billions of podcasters, right? I don't know if there's billions, but I'm one of very many, right? And so I think the same is true for me, not just the people that I interview. People can get on multiple shows, but I'm very cognizant of the fact that if I put out a viable product, people may want to talk to me, right? And I take conscious of that every time I'm able to talk to somebody, explore their stories. So, and it goes across industries, right? Everybody, you can get a burger anywhere, right? You can you can talk to any Tom, Joe or Jane on any podcast show, but it was the conversation we had before we talked. It was like, okay, this is worth my time. I'm just being realistic, right? You can say thanks, but no thanks. So the same applies to me, not just, I'm creating a product, but my product is, something I say, I'm luxury, so I take conscious of that. First of all, Team Alvarez, I got to ask you, what's that boxing glove? What's that boxing glove right there, man?
Yeah, Team Alvarez actually was the club I was going when I was in Argentina. I really miss them.
Okay, dope. I was a huge Sergio Martinez fan, man. Like that was, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Like
he is very fast and a lot of tricks.
Dude, I absolutely, when he knocked out Paul Williams, right? Like, and Paul Williams was a great fighter, man. Like the first fight was a barn burner, but when he did that knockout on him, I was like, you didn't expect that to happen. But Argentina.
He's very fast.
Oh my gosh,
he was actually he'd been to the club once. Yeah. I couldn't see him, but he'd been to the club and gave like a master class. Yeah, he's great and a great person as well.
Yeah, I saw his documentary too on Netflix. I was a big fan of his. So shout out to Sergio Martinez Marvila. Where can people find Abel Osorio, sir?
Yeah, so they can find me on LinkedIn. I'm trying to become more active on the platform. Mm-hmm. So just look me up there, Abel Osorio. And happy to connect. If you're around Vancouver, I'm always happy to grab a coffee and just chat. Yeah, you never know where a new connection will take you.
Yeah, I've been to Vancouver. It's an absolutely beautiful city. When I went on that Capilano suspension bridge too, man, it's a breathtaking city.
It is beautiful.
Oh, you can be downtown in a mountain or at the beach, in the same day. It's one of the places that's an incredible city. So I want to thank you very much for your time. This has been one I've been waiting for quite some time. Anybody who likes the show, please subscribe, and you can find more stories from Abel. And look forward to having follow-up conversations with you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, and looking forward to having more conversations as well.
Thanks, Abel.
Yeah, see you, man.
Bye.